Everyone, it's been such a long time since I have done a video. I really wanted to apologize for that. I have moved 3 times in the past 3 months. And so now we're all settled. We're still in the same state, but we just had a lot of things that we had to get in order. So we are now I'm settled, and my husband and I have set up my room, and I've made some projects for some of my friends, but I really wanted to do like a scrapbooking layout for you. And so I decided to put this one together kind of on a whim. And so I'm actually using some older cardstock here, this paper pad by We Are Memory Keepers, the Nonsense paper stack. It's an old one from my stash, but I do love it a lot. It has a lot of colors and different things that I like that are still quite trendy. I wanted to incorporate some of the birds and different things there. I am going to do my layout on this avalanche paper by Basil. It's a thick cardstock, and I'm going to use this bird one somehow. Not quite sure how yet at the time. There's a stripe one and this other turquoise with yellow. I'm going to use these stickers by American Crafts. The brown one is a Chit Chat stickers, but the bluish turquoise one, I have cut off the name of that collection, but it is an older collection. As you see, I have used them a lot. I'd like to use these alpha rub-ons if I can. I'm just taking out products that match, that coordinate, that possibly I may use. This is Sassafras, the khaki collection. Also a shout out to crapchocolate.com. I buy so much of my stuff from them. This is the Fancy Pants alpha rub-ons, and they are my favorite ever. I use them like crazy. I might use this stamps by Amy Tangerine. I really like the camera, and just some other alpha stamps that I had in my stash. I want to use this house somehow, and I might incorporate the Happy Days collection by Echo Park chipboard. So that's just what I'm starting off with. Now, as I had mentioned before, I'm going to use the textured side of the Basil white cardstock paper. I have edited a lot, but this is how I wanted to put my pictures, so forgive me. I rambled a lot. I'm going to use the acrylic paints there that I'm showing you for the backgrounds. I'm going to make my own background, and I picked those colors based on what we're wearing. I just decided to splash the paint on. I'm using the yellow. It's quite a messy technique, but I do like the effect, and it goes quite well with my layout, which we are painting in the layout. So I'm just getting the paintbrush, and I didn't dilute it in any way, but I'm just splashing it on there. It can be messy, so I do recommend that you get the pictures or anything that you don't want splashed out of the way. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm doing also the turquoise the same way, and just splashing it, making a mess. I don't mind my hands getting dirty. If you do, I would recommend wearing gloves and putting newspaper underneath. My workspace is okay. If I get it dirty, I can wipe it off. Acrylic cleans up quite well. I'm also going to do some pearlescent acrylic paint over that, just to add kind of a sparkle effect on top of the other more bold, brighter colors. Now, when you're doing this, I did make some mistakes, but I did do that. I used my heat embossing gun to dry that in the back, that paint, and I'm going to cut about a 5-inch strip of this paper here, and I'm going to put it in the middle of my layout. I wanted to I use Fiskars scissors for the edges to make just like a scalloped edge there on top. I also cut a strip about 1.5 inches of the lined paper, and I was going to add that there on the bottom. And then I also wanted to add some more color and things like that to the top of the layout on the top where the scallop part is. And so eventually I decide that I would like to add some brown onto the top there. I have this cutout sheet that comes in that paper stack that I'm looking to add something from that. It takes me quite some time to figure out what I'm going to do. That was why there's so much heavy editing in this layout. So I have it where I wanted it, and I'm the kind of person that I have to adhese everything, or if I don't, then I will keep changing it, and I just have to act on it. So I also cropped out most of my adhesing, but I like that, and I'm not going to change it. I'm going to work with it as I go here. And so I'm just adhesing here. I'm using my ATG gun, which I like to use, and I also really like to use a glue gun and Tombow Mono adhesive. As you see there, I added some text to also tell you that I cropped the applying adhesive. So here, I still had to crop my pictures, and so I wanted to matte the one in the middle to kind of bring it out a little bit more than the background. So I did that, and I'm going to crop the pictures after I adhese them. After I just get them where I wanted them, I wanted to just cut and trim the edges of them. It's just getting them centered. Sometimes I can be so meticulous. You watch that on yourself, but I guess that's what makes a good product, and I do always like my layout. So here I'm just adhesing the pictures and still trying to center and make sure that that is where I want it, because being that I didn't pre-crop any pictures, I'm just going to layer them. So I do like that, and I decided here just to trim the edges of that. So that's what I did just with my scissors. You can use a trimmer, paper trimmer if you'd like, but scissors just works just fine for that. So there's that. I'm going to lay my picture there on top. I do like the way that is turning out. I put that aside, and I'm going to pop up the picture with some foam adhesive. I put quite a bit because I don't want it to get flat in my album. Sometimes I tend to do that when you use them sparingly. So I did not want that to happen. I'm just peeling them all off now here. Oh, this layout was a lot of fun, I have to say. Like I said, I do apologize for so much editing. I just wanted it to be quite shorter than what it really was, and my camera kept turning off, and just a lot of things kept going wrong with this recording, but at least I'm getting something on there, and I need to get in the groove again. So there, I like the way that that is, and that turned out. I really wanted to incorporate those birds on the branch with the leaves. So what I did is I just cut them out. As you see, I just cut a little part of it out, put it on some pop-up adhesive, and put it there on the bottom along the left side of my layout. I added those stickers to the top. My camera had died, as I mentioned earlier, so I put those 2 stickers there and named my layout Let's Paint, being that we were painting, having a painting party. So then that's one of the punch outs from the paper stack, just an arrow pointing down. I decided to put that on some pop dot adhesive as well, just to add a little bit more dimension and some interest to the page. And so that's exactly what I did. And so here I'm deciding what else. I really wanted to incorporate those houses, being that that's a house that we had painted together as girls, the inside, which is always a lot of fun. And so I decided to use the yellow one, the yellow house there, and those are the puffies. I'm not quite sure what the name of that one is at this time, I'm sorry. And so I'm using my glue gun. It's not going to go anywhere ever, and that's what I like about my glue gun, and so I don't have to worry about it ever falling apart. So that house, I really like the way it turned out there with the house there. The little door is so cute with a little heart for the doorknob. So anyways, I decided that I needed to incorporate some journaling. So I took a technique that I learned from, I believe, Swiss Girl Designs or something like that. I subscribed to her. She gave me this idea when I was watching a tutorial where you get acrylic paint and you get a scrap piece of paper so that you can make your lines on directly onto your page instead of having to look for you know, some kind of note card or label sticker or anything like that. You can make your own, and it goes quite well with my layout. And so I just run it through that scrap piece of paper and that orange, and you figure out where you want to put it on your layout. And so you just simply just tap down. And for me, I didn't want my lines perfect. I didn't want them perfectly straight. But if you did want them perfectly straight, you would pull the paper a lot tighter. But I'm just holding it loosely. And I'll do that on my last line just to show you that you can make it straight. But like as I mentioned before, it went quite well with this layout. So I'm just adding as many lines as I feel fit, and as many lines as I think that I will want to use for my journaling. You can use them wherever. You can mix and match the colors. You can do whatever you want, and that's the fun thing about doing it this way with the journaling. So I made that last line on the bottom there very straight just by pulling that paper tight. I also decided to, what I did to the bottom right, I wanted to add to the top left just kind of to mimic the same thing that was going on down on the right. And so I ended up adding some onto the top left corner, just a few lines. I was not sure what I was going to put there at the time, but I knew it would look nice. And so I ended up putting the date there, or the year I should say, and it came out quite lovely. And so I really thank you guys for looking at my layout, and this is how it came out. A little bit of a close-up. As I mentioned, my camera did die, but this is the finished product, and I thank you so much for looking at my scrapbook layout today. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.